I first learned about this opportunity because I am a Talent Stacker student. So I've been going through the Talent Stacker program and going through this whole career transition into the tech field and specifically in Salesforce. And this had popped up, I think, in one of my newsletters. And of course, I stalk you guys on LinkedIn and on the podcast and on YouTube. So I saw the alerts coming up and thought this would be an amazing opportunity to continue to expand my network within the ecosystem.
LinkedIn is kind of my lifeline to the Salesforce ecosystem. And so I just happened to see, a post that the Talent Stacker program was offering this Trailblazer mentorship option. And for me, it was like a no-brainer. I've always been really passionate about helping other people succeed because I truly believe that success is better together. And so having this program available to people who are looking to get into the ecosystem is just a brilliant idea to me, because what I hear a lot from people is that they're overwhelmed. And I understand that that's happening because there's so many options, so many paths, so much technology that you can learn in Salesforce. So for someone who is new to all of this, it's like having someone just be able to, first help you stop and breathe and know like you'll figure it out, right? And to be able to share my experience with someone feels good to me, to be able to help them out. Because if I was in their shoes today, I would probably be in the same boat, right? I'd be very overwhelmed and not knowing what to do. So it's just comforting for me to know that there's somebody that's willing to be able to stand by their side and say, hey, don't worry, we'll figure this out. You got this.
I try to go into new things without too many expectations around them, honestly, because I want to leave myself open to the experience and just taking it all in. So going into this mentorship program and first of all, going into the portal for the mentorship program was super simple. The setup is easy to navigate. And then finding a mentor was made super simple and super easy. And I loved that you guys set it up in such a way that mentees can go into the system and learn about the different mentors who are available and learn about their background and see who really resonates with you and what you're looking to do for your career and what you need right now in your journey. And so when I came across Christina's profile, I think I told her the very first couple minutes that we met on the first call, I said, I didn't even get all the way through your bio and I just knew you were going to be my mentor. And so when I was selected the button, to reach out and ask that she would be my mentor, in my head, I was like, please pick me, because I just knew it would be like a great match and she would be amazing. And she absolutely has been so incredible for this entire time that we've been meeting this past month. I've really enjoyed it. One of the biggest takeaways that I have gotten from my time with her so far is to give myself some grace and, take a breath when things seem a little overwhelming, because, going through a career transition and not having a super technical background, there are a lot of things to learn and a lot of stuff coming at you from every direction. And sometimes you feel like you're on an island, even though the Ohana in Salesforce is absolutely incredible. You still can kind of feel like you're on an island sometimes. And working with her, I would express some of that, on the call. And she'd be like, hey, what's going on? Let's take a breath. And it would just kind of recenter me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I know this. This is a really great reminder. Thank you so much. And so just having that comforting person to let you know, like, hey, you're not alone. You can totally do this. And here are some tools and resources and tips on how to get through the stressful moments and keep plowing through. And then one other thing that I would also like to add is that I have a habit of wanting to be a perfectionist and have everything perfect before I, pull the trigger on something. And she really encouraged me to select a date and get my admin cert test scheduled. And so not dragging my feet on that was super helpful. I think I would have taken a lot longer to jump on that if it weren't for her.
Yeah, like anytime I'm working with somebody, I'm always growing myself too. And I think when I select somebody, One, I might not know everything that they might be looking for, but what I do know is that, I've been in the ecosystem for a long time, and what supported me well is knowing that I am resourceful. So if they're stuck on something, like, hey, let's put our heads together and figure it out, right? I think the big expectation to let go of as a mentor or as a coach for somebody is to not expect to have all the answers. And that rings true in the Salesforce ecosystem too, right? Like, you can be an amazing admin or consultant or whatever role you want to have in the ecosystem. And it's important to know, like, you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be perfect. Like, the big thing to know is that you're just a couple steps ahead of someone else, right? And that's where the value lies, because there might be an expectation of some people that they have to be the perfect person to mentor, right? Or a mentee might put someone on a pedestal, but it's a good reminder for me that I don't have to have all the answers. I don't have to do it perfectly, right? Like Rachael was saying, I can just take a step back, I can breathe, and just know that the power of support, like, we'll figure it out together. I think it's maybe a misconception that you do have to know all these things. And look, like, I've been in the ecosystem, for a long time. It's been almost 20 years now. And I'm still learning so much every day. And especially with how much Salesforce is advancing technology, you have to be a lifelong learner if you're going to be in this industry, because there is a lot to learn. And, it's important to know, like, that grace that we were talking about early on in the call, like, give yourself some grace, because you're not going to know everything. You shouldn't know everything. People don't expect you to know everything. And if you do try to know everything, you're really going to burn yourself out fast.
I would say for anybody looking at this as an opportunity for themselves to become a mentee, just do it. Honestly, a lot of people will sit back and, try to figure out, like, is this the best time for me to do it? Maybe I'm not ready to do it. Maybe I'm not worthy to do it. What are they going to think about me? I don't have this background that they have, and I'm scared and whatever. Just put all of that aside. These are just people, just like we are. And, it's just, I always look at it as, somebody that you don't know is just a friend you haven't met yet. And if you go into it with an open mind and an open heart, and you go with the expectation that you're going to try to give as much as you receive, then it's going to be mutually beneficial for the two of you. And you're going to leave with so much more insight into, the whole entire opportunity that Salesforce offers for professionals, expanding your network, and, just giving you more confidence to talk with people that maybe you don't know, and meeting new friends, and talking about professional topics with somebody, that you literally just met. It's all about, again, expanding your network and being, I hate to use the word fearless, because then that, like, makes you think that there's something to fear, but there really isn't. You just really have to just hit the button and just do it. You're going to be glad that you did, because it's really not that scary. And my mentor is amazing. So I'm glad I did it.
I think encouraging the mentees to take ownership of how they want these calls to be is important to know. And I'm pretty sure you talk about this in the onboarding, right? But yeah, I mean, yes, I'm here to serve, right, as a support system to the mentees, but I'm here to meet them where they're at, right? So I don't have an agenda when we hop on these calls. I really want it to be driven by the mentee. So I really want them to understand that whatever you want to get out of these calls is what you're going to get out of these calls. So, I know that the program is slated to give you 4 calls, and that's not a whole lot if you think about it. So you want to make the most out of it. Rachael did a great job with that. We always had so much to talk about, and then some. I think we were very aligned in who we were in our match. So I'm so grateful for that. And I know that I've taken away a lifelong friend, through this. Yes. So it's been fantastic. And it's been a great experience for me, because I have had mentors in the past who were not a fit for me. And it was kind of somebody that was kind of forced upon me, you know, from like work or whatever. And it just, yeah, I didn't get much use out of it. So I'm glad that mentees do have the option to choose, as well as the mentors, right, to make sure there's a fit.